Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Corporate Finance online classes. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Manjeri, Assistant Professor from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. So, dear students, today is the micro presentation by Iranna. So, Iranna, over to you. So, I will make you the host now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Iranna, you are the host now. Please begin the presentation.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is visible, sir.
Yeah, visible in zoom on, zoom in. Yeah, further. Do it. Still, we cannot see. The font is not visible.
Now, sir.
Not yet. See, it will go on expanding. Just zoom it. Now it is visible. Okay, you can move it towards left, right, up, down while reading. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you
Yes, sir.
begin. Start.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah,
I am Irana. Today I am going to present the news which is dated on 5th July from the Economics Times. The news headline is Timely execution a plus for the road builder, strong financials and order book along with low valuations make the IPO attractive. GR Infra Projects track record makes for a good long-term bet. Long-term investors can consider investing in the initial public offering of GR Infra projects. Strong order book, high presence in the construction segment, a responsibly good balance sheet, execution of projects within the agreed timelines or even earlier, and attractive valuation are some of the primary factors that add to the attractiveness of the issue business. GR Infra Projects is an integrated infrastructure company. Broadly, the company operates in two segments, construction and roads. In the construction segment, the company had an order book of over 19,000 crores as of March 31, 2021. The order book comprises both pure construction and hybrid annuity model projects. It has 14 hybrid annuity model projects, of which 5 are operational. In hybrid annuity model, project 40% of the project cost is borne by the government and the remaining has to be borne by the construction company. In the road segment, the company has one project. Its order book is well diversified across 14 states. The company owns construction equipment, which saves cost. The company has acquired a reputation for timely execution of projects, which is reflected in the early computation bonus the company has been awarded for the projects. The issue. The IPO is offering for sale. The company's promoters and investors will be selling 11.5 million shares, which amounts to 11.9 of the company's equity share capital. There is no fresh issue. The company will not receive any proceeds from the issue. First issue, the promoters holding would come down to 88%. Financials. In the past 3 years, the company revenues have grown at a compounded annually growth rate of 32% to 7,250 crores in financial year 21. Even its earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization Margins have been stable in the range of 19 to 20%. It is a debt to equity of 0.4. Also, the net profit has grown at a compounded annually growth rate of over 25% to 780.6 crore in financial year 21. Valuation. The company's order book of over 90,000 crores gives visibility of revenue of the next at least 2.5 years. Besides, it's a strong winning news as regards valuation, considering its financial year. The issue is commanding a price to earnings multiple of 8.51. This is quite attractive when compared to the sector's average price to earnings multiple of 16. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Iranna. That was a good pick.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, you can stop sharing. Yeah, so thank you, Iranna. That was a good pick. So the news is about a GR Infrastructures. Okay, GR Infra is making the initial public offering. Okay, so it means they are going to sell equity shares to the public. It does not mean that GR Infra does not have equity shares. At present, the equity shares will be held by mostly the promoters. Okay, so for the first time, they are going to issue equity shares, okay, for sale in the market. Okay, so students, you also, okay, if there is still time available and if anybody is interested to purchase, you can evaluate, is it worth purchasing the equity shares of GR Infra? So they had given some information. So the present issue of 11.5 million equity shares they are issuing, they have not given the face value of the share, that you can find out. Okay, then it says what 11.5 million equity shares which they are issuing for the first time, they comprise of or they constitute 12% of the, which is 11.9% of the total equity capital of the firm. So remaining will be held by the promoters. Okay, like that is 88% almost. Okay, 88.1% will be held by the promoters. That is one thing. Second thing, they have given some information to evaluate the attractiveness of the investment, like debt equity ratio is 0.4, they say. It means for every 1 rupee of equity capital, okay, the debt capital is 40 paise. So which is a very good healthy ratio, the risk will be lower. So this way we analyze, and this is related to definitely yes, financing decision, okay, from unit 5. How a company finances its investment. So there are different sources. So one is the debt capital. Yesterday what we learned, okay, Tata Steel's UK, United Kingdom's business unit will be raising 200 million pound. That is a debt capital from a consortium of banks, means from different banks. That is one source of capital. Another source is today. Okay, so this company GR Infrastructure is raising capital from equity, so from the source equity capital by way of issuing equity capital. Okay, so the composition of a debt and equity in the total capital is referred to as the capital structure of a firm, which we also learn in unit 5. So I hope this way, okay, MBA students gain knowledge and understand, okay, the theoretical concepts, okay, properly. So students, any queries related to this? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so do you find this value adding, or you want me to go ahead with simply with syllabus?
Value adding, sir.
Yeah, you feel it is adding value. Is it enabling you to understand the theoretical concepts in a better way in a context of corporate world?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you also keep reading news, okay, other than the micro presentation, you are also allowed to share the information or share the news and make the classes interactive. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and for as far as Irana, yes, Irana, you really chose a good news, okay, related to the area of corporate finance. Okay, then the information given in the news was very vital. Okay, so those who are planning to purchase equity shares can look at the IPO of this company. Okay, and Irana,
Yes,
while
sir.
reading, okay, your communication was not fluent, though you are referring and reading, but it was not fluent. Okay, so you need to
Yes, sir.
rehearse in order to read it fluently. And some words, okay, whose pronunciation you don't know. See, this is the world, okay. The world is at your fingertip now. Your smart mobile phones, smartphones, internet on the phone, Google, okay. Just go to Google and type BORNE pronunciation. These two words you put in BORNE and say pronunciation. So how it will pronounce, you read. Then
Yes.
pronounce it correctly. It is not a borne.
Yes.
Okay, it is a born. Okay.
More. Yes.
So these things I am telling you continuously. Please improve your communication skills, which is a vital to get a job. Okay, in MBA or after MBA. Okay, so it is up to
Yes,
you
sir.
anyway. So
Thank you, sir.
that's yeah, welcome. But overall, it was a good presentation, Irana. Keep it up.
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's go ahead with our routine, the syllabus. Okay, students, can you see the PowerPoint slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so I'll just take a quick recap. So far we have discussed nature of working capital, planning of working capital, need for working capital, operating cycle, and the determinants of working capital. We are learning only one, maybe two or three are remaining. So I will go directly to the remaining determinants of working capital. Yeah, I think we have discussed yesterday depreciation policy. Now remaining are these two: price level changes and operating efficiency. So price level changes when we talk about the price of the raw materials. Okay, see, again, if you have a habit of reading newspaper of you, or you go to kirana stores and purchase grocery for your home, you go to vegetable market, purchase vegetables and fruits, or if you involve in purchasing anything, I repeat, anything for your home. Okay, and even those who have scooters and cars, if you take your automobile for a gas station means in India we call a petrol pump. What has been happening to the prices of all the commodities, branded products? Yes. Have you experienced
Sir,
something?
they are increasing, sir, day by day.
They are increasing. They have
Yes,
increased.
sir.
Yes. And anybody, Keshav?
Inflation everywhere, sir.
Inflation everywhere. Yes. Pooja Ballari. You wanted to add something? Pooja Ballari. You name few products.
Prices are increasing.
Prices are increasing. Yes. That is the first thing. Second, you tell one or two products whose prices have increased drastically. Or you don't tell me.
Sir, petrol, sir.
Tell me what are the price 1 year before and what is the price now?
Sir, 1 year before it was 70 rupees around, sir.
Hey,
Now it
not
is
70,
104.
not 70, 80, around 80 rupees. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now it is
103 or 104, sir.
103, 104, sir.
okay, above 100 rupees. Very good. Then any other product?
Gold.
Sorry? Yes, Sakshi.
Sir, gold.
Gold. What are the price a year before or 6 months before, and what is the price now?
Sir, before 6 months it was 45. Now it's 50 above.
Okay, before 6 months, 45,000 per 10 gram. Now it is above 50,000. Okay. See, and also if you read news, many passenger car companies like Maruti Suzuki have announced that they are going to increase the prices of their cars, and the basic reason is okay, changes in the price level of raw materials. See, it does not only affect the final price of the product, okay, and affect demand, but it also, the increase in the prices of raw materials also affect the requirements of working capital. See, okay, so how everything is integrated, it is not isolated. Please remember, you need to read a lot. Okay, inculcate the habit of reading, improving your communication skills. Rising prices necessitate the use of more funds for maintaining an existing level of activity. Say, for example, if I had to purchase 1 liter of petrol earlier, I would pay 80 rupees. Now, to purchase the same quantity of petrol, I have to pay 20 rupees more. Correct? So, I need more, 20 rupees more. Same way, the car makers, for example, passenger car makers like Maruti Suzuki Limited, they have to purchase the tires, batteries, okay, etc. So for the same number of tires, for the same number of batteries, today they have to pay more than earlier. So they need more money, and tire makers like MRF tires, battery makers like Exide are the suppliers of components or spare parts to passenger car makers. So rising prices necessitate the use of more funds for maintaining an existing level of activity. To produce the same number of cars, to purchase the same number of tires and batteries, Maruti Suzuki company would now require more funds. So for the same level of raw materials, okay, that is current assets, higher cash outlays are required. The effect of rising prices is that a higher amount of working capital is needed. See, so beautifully these things are explained to you. Okay, if you could appreciate, okay, so you will become the best finance students in North Karnataka. Please remember this. Okay, teaching doesn't go to this depth. Okay, associating the theory with what is exactly happening in the corporate world right now, right here. Then operating efficiency. Efficiency of operations accelerates the pace of cash cycle and improves the working capital turnover, resulting in reduced requirement of working capital. See, operating efficiency is related to operating cycle. Okay. So if the company's operations means all the activities, procurement of raw materials, manufacturing, okay, sales and distribution, and recovery of the payments from the debtors. Okay, if these operations are performed with more efficiency, means in lesser time, it reduces the duration of the operating cycle. And as the duration of the operating cycle reduces, the requirement for working capital also reduces. And companies keep, okay, observing their operations, and they keep looking at the methods or ways by which they can increase the efficiency of their operations, which reduces the duration of the operating cycle. Okay, so I hope that should be the end. Yes. Okay, so that was all about determinants of working capital, or the factors that affect the amount of working capital required. So if you have any question in general or in particular about the last 3 determinants, let me know. Saurabh, please mute your audio. Saurabh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? A kind yes or no would be good for me so that I can go ahead. Dear
No,
students.
sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
No, sir.
Yes. Okay, then let's move ahead with the next aspect. See, these things are not explained, not even given a care. Numericals are directly taught in the class. Okay, so but I have another 10 to 11 slides where we learn, we understand how to compute working capital. It is required, especially non-commerce students, okay, will not have any background. But even for commerce background students, I would say, okay, so the level at PG will be different, especially in MBA again. Okay, so these things would help you. So please pay attention. We'll go ahead with the process of computation of working capital. So a firm should have adequate working capital to support its budgeted level of activity in terms of production or sales. Now we know that much. it should have neither more nor less. It should neither have more nor less working capital required. So the company should have optimum amount of working capital. While the excessive working capital adversely affects its profits, the inadequate working capital interrupts its smooth operations. That is why the company should have optimum level of working capital. Therefore, its correct computation, it means working capital. Therefore, the correct computation of working capital is an important constituent of efficient working capital management. Dear student, that is why we are going to understand the scientific method of computation of working capital. So there are two components of working capital, namely current assets. Non-commerce students, please pay attention. Okay, if you have turned on your phone and went away, okay, I cannot help it. Huh? Okay, the recording is being troubled now. Okay, let me tell you, last two classes, the first session recording has gone blank. There is no video, there is only audio. Okay, and after one day when I try to open the video, that is also not opening. Okay, I cannot help it. Huh? So whatever is possible, okay, we are doing it at our best level. Okay, so if you attend the classes, it is beneficial. If not, it is up to you. So there are two components of working capital, namely current assets and current liabilities, so denoted by CA and CL. Each component is to be separately estimated to determine the correct amount of working capital. So the relevant factors are the holding periods of various types of inventories. See, these are the components which we need to estimate or calculate before we compute the working capital. So pay attention. The relevant factors are the holding periods of the various types of inventories. For how many days the inventories will be held in stock. So for that amount of time, you need money or funds to invest in current assets. Debtors collection period, okay, so that you collect the amount from debtors and pay to creditors, that is suppliers of raw materials. Till then, how much of money you should hold in your hand. Creditors payment period, budgeted yearly production or sales, cost of goods produced, cost of sales, average time lag in payment of wages and other overheads. Overheads means expenses, minimum cash balances and so on. Okay. Working capital requirements are to be computed with reference to cash costs, excluding depreciation. Please remember, these adjustments will come into numerical problems. You should remember that. Okay, you should make adjustment for depreciation even in computation of working capital, and not the sale price, as depreciation is a non-cash cost. We already know it now from unit 2. Depreciation is a non-cash cost and hence does not need working capital. You need not finance depreciation. Please remember this. It's a non-cash cost. The investment required to finance debtors are at cost price, and the cash cost approach is appropriate to determine working capital requirement of a firm. Okay, so the cash cost approach is what we are going to use. What is it? We will learn now. So first we'll understand how to estimate current assets. So this is given in the reading material. If you have read and come to class, your understanding will be easier. Okay, otherwise also now you can pay attention, and when we solve the numericals, again these things will come into picture. So 3 times things are repeated, only provided if you read once in advance and once you read after the class, total it will be 5 times it will repeat. Okay, so definitely you will be more confident, more knowledgeable compared to any other student, I bet it. Okay, you should have these resources, a teacher, and your initiative, your efforts are also required. Otherwise, all the efforts of the teacher and the material shared with you are a waste. Remember. So the first current asset is raw materials inventory. Okay, the investment, the amount of rupees required to invest in raw material inventory is estimated as given below. See, when we say raw materials inventory means we are calculating how much money we need to invest in raw material inventory. Please remember this. So it is computed, calculated by multiplying budgeted production in units. Please remember. Okay, budgeted production in units, number of units to be produced as per the budgeted figures, into cost of raw materials per unit. Please remember, don't forget this. Cost of raw materials per unit into average inventory holding period in months or days or even sometimes in weeks, in months, days, or in weeks. Remember, all three types you will get in numerical problems. Okay, so for computation, 12 months in a year or 365 days in a year are considered, unless and otherwise it is given 350 days are considered for the calculation in the given problem. Otherwise 12 months or 365 days are considered for calculation. Next current asset is work in process inventory. See, what is work in process? Once raw materials are purchased by the manufacturer and from the stores, okay, the raw materials are released into the production process or into the assembly line, and before they become part of the finished product, we call them as work in process inventory. I hope the explanation is clear. Okay, the relevant costs to determine work in process inventory are proportionate share of the cost of raw materials and conversion costs. That is, conversion costs are labor and manufacturing overhead costs excluding depreciation. Please remember. Okay, so when we say work in process inventory, what does it mean? Even work in process inventory also needs to be financed. So company should have money to invest in work in process inventory. So how to compute it? We are learning. So in case full unit of raw material is required, say for example, manufacturing of a car. Okay, tires for example. Can you release only some portion of the tire, or you need to release the entire tire into the assembly line? Yes. Full tire release ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಲೈನ್ಗೆ, ಏನು ಅರ್ಧ ಟೈರ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಟೈರ್ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಹಾ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಏನಂತ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಫುಲ್
ಟೈರ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಫುಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಲೈನ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ full unit of raw material is required in the beginning, the unit cost of work in process would be higher, 100% of it. These all will be given in the numerical, will come across all these points, and that is cost of full unit. For example, if cost of the raw material is 100 rupees, you have to take all 100 rupees. But sometimes it is given in the problem that only 50% of the raw materials are leased. It means if the cost of raw material is 100 rupees, how much you have to consider for calculation?
50.
Yeah, only 50 rupees. Very good. Okay, you will come across, no problem. So the cost of, in our case, the cost of full unit plus 50% of the conversion cost had to taken into account. Say labor cost is, for example, 100 rupees. Okay, then manufacturing overhead costs are 200 rupees, so total 300 rupees. But only 50% of 300 rupees, which is 150 rupees, you have to consider as conversion cost. Okay, so compare to the raw material requirement throughout the production cycle. So WP means work in process is normally equivalent to 50% of the total cost of production. So symbolically, to find out how much money is required to invest in work in process inventory can be computed or estimated by multiplying budgeted production in units, number of units to be manufactured, into multiplied by estimated work in process cost per unit into average time span of work in process inventory, usually in months, days, or weeks. Okay, so this will be given in the problem. So for computation purposes, 12 months in a year are considered, or 365 days in a year are considered. Okay, then next current asset is a finished goods inventory. So we saw about raw material, we learned about work in process inventory. Now we are moving on to finished goods. So it is in a process. So that is the importance of theory, my dear students. You will learn thoroughly. Their knowledge will be in depth. Anybody asks any question, you will be able to answer. Okay, so please put effort to read and understand. So finished goods inventory means how much money the company should have to invest in finished goods inventory. This is what we say. Company requires working capital to invest in current assets. When I say, you are exactly understanding it now. You are going through what does that sentence mean. When I say company requires working capital to invest in current assets. So working capital required to finance the finished goods inventory is given by the factors. Okay, as in equation 3, budgeted production in units multiplied by cost of goods produced per unit, remember excluding depreciation, multiplied by finished goods holding period. So for how many days finished goods will be held in inventory. So again, for computation purposes, you have to consider 12 months or 365 days in a year. Even if it is not given, it is the implied rule. You should remember, you should never forget. Yeah, then the next current asset. Students, still you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can see
Yes,
the
sir.
PowerPoint slide.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because there
Yes,
is a
sir.
power cut here. So I don't know whether that affects internet, but let's continue. If I'm not audible and if the PowerPoint slide is not visible or if the meeting closes, please call me on my mobile phone. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, only one student will call. Purna is there, CR. Keshav is there, no? Keshav, you call me, not don't try everyone. Keshav will call me if in case of any problem. So next current asset in the list is debtors. Okay. So when I say debtors or when I estimate debtors, it means how much money is required to invest in debtors or how much working capital is required to invest in debtors. Okay, see why we invest in debtors. Remember, it is only in case of credit sales. Remember, only in case of credit sales. If the company sells its products to its customers, like Hindustan Unilever Limited is selling its products to its distributors or wholesalers on credit basis, till they repay, company should have working capital to meet the day-to-day expenses so that the day-to-day operations and transactions go smoothly. Remember this. The working capital tied up in debtors should be estimated in relation to the total cost price, excluding depreciation again. Okay. So we can estimate the total amount required to invest in debtors by multiplying budgeted credit sales. Remember, only credit sales. Budgeted credit sales in units. How many units are sold on credit basis? Multiplied by cost of sales per unit excluding depreciation, multiplied by average debt collection period in months or days or in weeks also. Remember, 12 months in a year or 365 days in a year or 52 weeks in a year. Okay, it is implied even if it is not given in the problem. Okay, you need to remember this. Please remember. Okay, then sometimes in some problems, to make it easy for the students, I repeat, everyone please pay attention. Sometimes to make it easy for the students to reduce the amount of calculations, okay, the problem, in the problem, they would have given this amount. Can you see how I am moving my cursor? Can you see, students? Keshav, can you see this? Where I am moving the cursor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see it,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Purna, please tell me what portion of the equation I am circling.
Sir, budgeted credit sales
Yeah.
and
See, you
cost
should
of
not,
sales
no,
per
no,
unit.
don't, please, don't miss out
In
anything.
unit.
Everything is important. Yes, once again.
Budgeted credit sales in units
Yeah.
into cost of sales per unit excluding depreciation.
Okay, so what will be the output? It will be in rupees or in units?
In units, sir.
No. See here, it is the cost of sales per unit. Say is 2 rupees and budgeted credit sales are 100 units. 100 units into 2 rupees. How much it will be?
200
200 what? 200 what?
rupees.
Rupees. I got it. You got it now. So sometimes in the problem,
Yes, sir.
it will be directly given 200 rupees. Got it? 200 rupees will be readily given in the problem. Then if you go ahead and multiply again that amount by cost of sales per unit, your answer will be wrong. So you should clearly understand the data given in the problem. Is it the product of budgeted credit sales in units multiplied by means number of units multiplied by cost per unit? Information will be there. You need to understand, read and understand. Remember. And sometimes they give all three things separately. You have to multiply all three. Okay, but in some cases they would already give the budgeted credit sales in units into cost of sales per unit. Okay, so then you have to multiply that amount, 200 rupees in my example orally which I told, 200 into average debt collection period. You have to multiply only two things. Okay, is it clear everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
many students have went on making the mistake in the past in same, and not only for debtors, even for that matter, finished goods inventory, work in process inventory, okay, raw material inventory. Sometimes this amount is given budgeted production in units into cost of raw materials per unit. In rupees it will be given. So you have to multiply only with average inventory holding period. Remember, don't forget this. And the last current asset in the list, okay, is cash and bank balances. Please remember, apart from working capital needs for financing inventories and debtors, firms also find it useful to have some minimum cash balances with them. So I have to take them as it is. Okay, you have to take them as it is. Okay, so any queries so far? Estimation of current assets. See, these things if I try to explain you directly while computing the working capital or solving the numerical problems, okay, you will go blank. So these things, my method is I give this all reading materials, steps and methods and processes to computation or calculation, then I solve the numericals. So this method requires a little bit more time and effort, but I feel that is about doing justice to duty. Any questions about estimation of current assets?
Sir, while doing problems also remind us like this, sir, please.
Same, in the same process, problems will be solved. I don't change, even I carefully choose the problems that go mostly in the same process. You can recall time value of money, capital budgeting evaluation techniques, okay, as well as the cost of capital. The way we followed theory, same way we solved the numerical problem. But small twists will be there, that you should know. That is only by way of practice you will learn. See here also, like budgeted yearly production in units into raw material cost per unit. Says if the amount is given already, you have to multiply only with credit period. Okay, so small twists like this will be always there. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, then let me go ahead with the estimation of current liabilities. The working capital needs of the firms are lower to the extent, the working capital needs of the business firms are lower to that extent, okay, such needs are met through the current liabilities other than bank credit, please remember, arising in the ordinary course of business. Say, as I maybe 3 times I already given the example, if the company bargains for a longer credit period